board still? Can the camera see the board still?
Yeah, I can.
You can? Fully?
Yeah. Like that takes the whole.
That's better?
Yeah.
That's better? Can you guys see the board? Who's this person here? Okay. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وبه نستعين على أمور الدنيا والدين وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد خاتم النبيين وآله وصحبه أجمعين ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. We are in Surah. All right, how do you guys do? Your notebooks? MashaAllah. Which one you don't have a pen? You fool? You don't have a pen? None of you? Okay. Give me 30 push-ups, thank you. No, you should have your pen with you. How you being taught about an ilm? That's like going to work without a uniform. How are you going to seek knowledge and don't have a pen? Get to it, bismillah. No, you don't got to go nowhere to go get a pen. Do the push-ups, then go get a pen. We're in Imraan. We're in the section where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts to talk about who? Who's Allah going to start talking about? Who? He's going to first start. He's not talking about Isa yet at all. He's talking about someone else. Let's go. Bismillah. So Allah says, Inna Allah astafa. Inna Allah astafa Adam wa Nuha, right? وآل إبراهيم وآل عمران على العالمين, right? That's all right? إن الله اصطفى آدم ونوحا وآل إبراهيم وآل عمران على العالمين. All right, come on, get back focused, get back focused. So Allah Ta'ala says, Inna Allah, let's get back to it. Inna Allah, what's Inna Allah mean? What does Inna Allah mean? What does it mean? It's ayah, what ayah is this? Ayah 33? Yeah, ayah 34. No, ayah 33 from Surah Al-Imran. Ayah 33 from Surah Al-Imran. Inna Allah. What does it mean? What is Inna Allah? Come on, you guys learn Arabic. What does Inna Allah mean? No, not in Allah. Inna Allah. Inna is harf tawqid. It's something that is making it certain that this is what's getting ready to happen. That this happened. Inna Allah, for sure Allah. For sure Allah. Certainly Allah. Inna means certainly Allah. Istafa. Istafa means chose. If I say, Istafa means chose, right? He chose, ikhtara. So Allah, He chose. Istafa means what? Chose or selected. Istafa, it means chose or selected. Let's go, Munira. Oh, okay. Go ahead, pray. Istafa means what? Come on, I'm asking this a question. You're learning, man. It means what? Chose or selected. Istafa. So we say, Inna Allah istafa. Allah chose or selected what? Adam. Who's Adam? You gotta go around this way. He chose Adam. Who's Adam? Abul Bashar. Adam is who? My father and your father. Who's Adam?
My father.
Yes, very simple stuff, right? Allah chose Adam. And He chose Nuh, right? Well, Nuh. And they say that Nuh is called Nuh because he used to make a lot of Nuh, the Tawheed. He used to cry out about Tawheed. He used to wail about Tawheed. So that's where he got the name Nuh from. Wa Nuhan wa Al Ibrahim. Al Ibrahim, it means what? the people or the family of Ibrahim. Ala means here, family of. Ala means what? I'm asking you guys. Ala means family of. وآل عمران على العالمين. وعمران وآل Imran is who? The father of Maryam alayhi salatu, the father of Maryam alayhi salatu wasalam. So وآل Imran, alal means what? Do you remember what alal means? Ala means? What's ala mean? هذا مصحف على الطاولة, right? It's on top. So, but this means over, above. He selected them above al-alamin, the rest of creation. Alamin here means everything else everyone else that was created. And some of the scholars of Tafseer, they say during their time. We're not going to go through the Tafseer right yet. First, we're going to go through what? The Arabic, the meanings of it. And then we're going to go through the Tafseer. Tight? That makes sense? So that way we all understand it. So we'll go back again. Inna Allah astafa آدم ونوحا وآل إبراهيم وآل عمران على العالمين. What's عالمين?
The whole of mankind.
Everyone of the mankind during their time, right? Or all of these four were selected over all of mankind in general. Each one was selected over mankind during their time, but all of them sum up mankind in general. They're the best of the best, right? That's that part. We're good with this? We're good? No? Inna Allah, what's Tafa mean? So when you see that anywhere, this Tafa is always going to mean he chose. Right? That's why the Prophet's name is Mustafa. He was the chosen one from Allah. Right? Inna Allah has Tafa. Who's Adam? Who's Noor? That's a trick question, maybe. Who's Noor?
He's one of the Anbiya?
No.
He's one of the chosen?
He's one of the chosen, but he's somebody else. He has a fadl. Who is he? He's our father too. Nuh is called the second father of mankind. Nuh is the second father of mankind. Adam was the first one. Nuh is the second one. Why?
Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed everything, and then Noah was the one that...
Only Nuh and his progeny, his daughters, and those were the only ones who survived. Yeah. So everyone on the face of the earth comes from the progeny of Nuh. Everyone here is the son and daughter of Noah after being the son and daughter of Adam. That makes sense? Well, Ala Ibrahim. Who else is it? Who's the Ala Ibrahim? Look, we're going. That's Tafseer. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to all this, okay? But do we understand the meaning of this? I want to know if you understand the meaning of this right now. You look confused. You all right, Abdullah? You got it? What does this stuff mean? Huh? What? Chose. What does Alameen mean? The whole creation. Alameen is everything that's in creation at the moment in time. Or the people, right? Who is Ala Ibrahim? Ala means family, right? Ala means what?
Family.
So who's Ala Imran? Family of Imran. Who's Ala Ibrahim?
Family of Ibrahim.
So who's Ala Imran?
Family of Imran.
Very good. Actually, we will do Tafseer because it makes sense to erase it off the board. Tayyib. So we say, Inna Allah astafa. Allah chose. Now, from everyone, they say Adam was chosen for a few reasons. Why? He was chosen as the first of human beings. He was chosen to be the father of all human beings. Right? Adam was chosen why? To be the father of all human beings. Before we go there, let's look at why is this ayah? Why does Allah start this ayah? Who remembers what we talked about last week? قل إن تحبون الله فاتبعوني يحببكم الله ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم والله غفور رحيم قل أطيعوا الله والرسول فإن توليتم فإن الله لا يحب الكافرين. Right? Allah. What does that mean? What does لا يحب الكافرين mean? From last week, it doesn't love the kuffar. So now Allah told you that the path. Allah showed you last week, right? Well, not last week, but we talked about it last week about what? How Allah does not like those who do not follow his messengers. He loves those who follow his messengers. So now Allah is showing us who are his messengers. Immediately after Allah told us that he doesn't like those who don't follow his messengers, and he doesn't like the kuffar, immediately Allah starts to talk about those who he loves. Those who he loves. And who are they? Allah says, Inna Allah astafa Adam. He chose Adam. Adam was the father of mankind. He was chosen to be the first of mankind. He was chosen to be a prophet sent by Allah. Right? How long did Adam live on the earth? Does anyone know?
960 years.
960 years, exactly. MashaAllah. So Adam lived on the earth for, we don't know how long he lived in Jannah. But he lived on the earth for 960 years, Adam did. Right? So Adam was on the earth for 960 years. And then Allah chose Noah after Adam. Now, remind you, people at that time were not in, it wasn't like now, where, there's cities all over the world. But during that time, it still wasn't a huge population of people. It still was only a small amount of people, relatively. So Noah was sent to that small city, or that city that he was sent to wasn't other cities. That where he was at was the population of mankind. That was where mankind was populated. So Noah was sent. Noah lived on the earth for how long? 950 years. Noah lived on the earth for 950 years. Tell you. Then Allah says He chose Ibrahim. Not just Ibrahim, but Al Ibrahim. So who's Al Ibrahim? Now if we look at this word Al Ibrahim, Ibrahim is also known as the father of the prophets. Right? The fathers of the prophets. So some of the scholars, they say that this ayah was revealed because the Jews were over there standing like, yo, listen, we're from the progeny of Ibrahim. Or we're from the children of Yaqub and Musa. This is who we are. And then the Jews were saying, the Christians were saying, we're from the children of Imraan. Right? Because the Christians are from Al Imran. They're from Isa's people. That's who they follow. So Allah Ta'ala showing that, no, we chose them. Now, who else is amongst the family of Ibrahim? Who else is from the family of Ibrahim? The Prophet ﷺ, Muhammad ibn Abdullah, his nasab, his lineage goes back to who? Ismail, the son of Ibrahim. And the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was the only prophet that came from Ismail. The only one. Ishaq's lineage on the other side, all the rest of the prophets came from. All of the rest of them came from the side of Ishaq. So Al Ibrahim, and then we have Al Imran. Imran was a very righteous man. Some say he was a prophet during the time of Zechariah, during the same time as Zechariah. Imran was married to a woman named Hannah bint Faqud. Her name was Hannah bint Faqud. Okay? He was married to someone named what? Hannah bint Faqud. Her father's name was Faqud. Then Zechariah was married to a woman named Aisha bint Faqud. Zechariah was married to someone, that's important to remember. Zechariah was married to someone named what? Aisha bint Faqud. Aisha, like this. Aisha. He was married to a woman named Aisha bint Faqud. Did you notice something yet?
Sisters.
Same father. So they were sisters. Huh? What? What did she say? The wife of Imran and the wife of Zechariah were sisters. Oh, what was Imran's wife's name? Hannah. Like this. Faqud. Faqud is spelled this way. Faqud. Faqud. Imran was married to Hannah bint Faqud, and Zechariah was married to Aisha bint Faqud. Are we clear? The most correct opinion is that they were, Allah's best, sisters. Some other scholars say that Zechariah was married to the mother of Hannah. But what seems to be correct is bint Faqud, that some scholars said they were sisters. Tayyib? So they were sisters. That's important to remember later on in the story. So, إِنَّ اللَّهَ اصْطَفَى آدَمَ وَنُوحَ وَآلَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَآلَ عِمْرَانَ عَلَى الْعَالَمِينَ. Someone translate it for me. Someone translate it for me. Munira, translate that for me, please. Translate it. You can? Help someone. Come on, tell me what that means. Inna Allah astafa Adam wa Nuh wa ala Ibrahim wa ala Imran ala al-alamin. Go ahead.
Certainly Allah chose Adam and Noah and the family.
Louder, louder, louder.
And the family of Ibrahim and the family of Imraan over mankind.
Over everyone else in mankind. Tired. Great. Now we're going to keep going. And Allah says, ذُرِّيَّةً Okay. So then Allah says, ذُرِّيَّةً بَعْضُهَا مِنْ بَعْضٍ. Dhurriya means, it comes to the word meaning creation. But it means, Imraan was a prophet. He was the Imam of the Salihin. Some of them say he was a prophet. His story is very long. We're not going to get into the story because we don't have enough time. The story of Imraan was a prophet during the time of Zechariah, right? And Imraan was the leader. He was the Imam of Bayt al-Maqdis during his time. Imraan was the Imam of Bayt al-Maqdis. He was the Imam and their most righteous person, a prophet of Bayt al-Maqdis. Amongst what? The Temple of Sulaiman, amongst the Yahud. So Imraan, he used to say that from my lineage is going to come the Messiah. He had a dream, and he prophesied that from his lineage was going to come the Messiah. You understand? So he had no children. So people used to say he was crazy. So then when he died, his wife was pregnant. His wife was pregnant when he died. Now, the Messiah is supposed to be what? A male. Remember that part. So again, Imraan was a prophet. He prophesied that the Messiah, meaning Isa alayhi was going to come from his lineage. But he never had any children. Until he died right while his wife was pregnant. He died while she was pregnant. So dhurriyatan ba'duha min ba'd. Dhurriyatan means here, it means progeny, children. Right? Dhurriyatan, creation and children. Dhurriyatan is what? Creation, progeny, right? It can also mean a child. It's going to come later. It's going to have the meaning of a child, male or female. A child, male or female. Progeny, creation. Dhurriyatan ba'duha min ba'd. Some of them from each other. And that's what we see. Ibrahim came from who? I mean, the people of Imraan came from Ibrahim. Ibrahim came from who? From Nuh. Nuh came from Adam. Dhurriyatan ba'duha min ba'd. Ba'duha means, some of them, this comes together. This is a phrase that comes together. Ba'duha min ba'd, some of them from each other. Right? Creation, some of them from each other. Wallahu, what does wallahu mean? Huh? What does wallahu mean? We did this last week. What does wallahu mean?
That which Allah has willed.
No.
No.
What does wallahu mean? What does the wow before Allah mean? Is this wow al-qasam or wow al-atf? Wow al-qasam or atf? Wow al-atf. Because if it was wallah, if it was wow al-qasam, it would be wallahi. This is wallahu. And Allah, this is not wallahu sami'un alim. Allah, and Allah is what? Sami', he hears everything. And alim, he knows everything. Meaning, this goes back to, what does Sami' mean? All hearing. And what is alim? All knowing. Now, ya mufassirin, let me ask you a question. Why do you think Allah closed with this at the end of those two ayats? We said, Inna Allah astafa Adama wa Nuha wa ala Ibrahim wa ala Imran ala al-alamin. Dhurriyatan ba'duha min ba'd. Wallahu sami'un alim. Why did Allah end with Wallahu sami'un alim? Yeah, we need to come, what is this? Come close, join your friend. Thank you. What does this mean, Wallahu, what does it mean, Wallahu sami'un alim? Why? Tell me why. Come on, you guys, what's happening? Why do you think, you know what Sami'un Alim means? What does Sami'un Alim mean? So why do you think Allah ended these ayat with that term?
Is it because of the indifferences of the people, how they argue?
Allah hears, He knows, He hears, and He hears the outward actions of everyone, and He's aware of the inner intentions and things. So He knows best who to choose better than you do. How often do you hear people say, why did Allah not make a prophet from over there? Or why did Allah not make a prophet from over there? Why my cousin John isn't a prophet, right? Wallahu Sami'un Alim. Allah knows best. He's the all-hearing. He's the all-seeing. He knows who's talking right, and He knows who's thinking and feeling right. Who's the best to choose from amongst His creation. Does that make sense? That's why Allah didn't make me or you a prophet. Right? It's reality. He knows us. He knows that, I can't, that's not my characteristic. Alhamdulillah. Allah knows best where to send His message. And the same thing with us. We're just followers. We follow it the best that we can follow. Allah knows best where to place His message. Some of the people today, you see like these people that say, oh, Allah had a prophet from here. Okay, whatever. None of that's important. We know who our prophet is, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If Allah had a prophet from Russia, cool. But it doesn't really affect us. If there was a prophet from Africa, cool. Really, it doesn't have no bearing on us. If there was a prophet from China, cool. None of that really matters. Wallahu Sami'un Alim. Allah knows best where to put His message. And what we do know for certain is what? That Allah sent the last and final messenger to come from the lands of the Arabs. His name was Muhammad ibn Abdullah. That's what matters. Why? Allah knows best. He knows exactly who to give His message to. Wallahu Sami'un Alim. Does that make sense? We're all on the same page? The next line, let's go. Okay. Where we going? إذ قالت امرأة. Okay, we're back to it. Allah says now, idh. What does idh mean? Idh is a term that has to do with time. But it's not for the future, it's for the past. It means, remember, Ya Muhammad. There's something that's not said here that's implied. There's an implied meaning here, meaning something that's not said, but it doesn't make sense without it. Idh qalat. Remember, Ya Muhammad. Allah's talking to His Messenger sallallahu. Idh, remember, Ya Muhammad, when. Idh here means like when. So before that idh is what? Remember, Ya Muhammad. Udhkur, Ya Muhammad. Idh qalat imra'atu Imraan. That makes sense? No? Tayyib. If I just say, when if the wife of Imraan said, there's something missing, right? If I come to you and I say, hey, when the wife of Imraan said, what would you say automatically? Before there has to be something missing, right? What's missing is Allah saying, not missing, but it's implied. In Arabic language, a lot of times there's words that are muqaddar. It's not said, but you know, even in English, you know that it's there. Doesn't have to be said. If I come to you and I say, Okay, if I say, you know, how old are you? And you say, and I say, and you? You get what I'm saying? I say, how old are you? And you say, oh, I'm 5. And you say, and I say, and you. That means what? And I'm saying, and how old are you? Everyone knows that I'm asking you, how old are you? It's included, right? Same thing here. Here, it's implied, اذكر يا محمد إذ قالت امرأة عمران. Remember or mention, O Muhammad, when the wife of Imran said. It's not a big deal, but it's just, you know, showing you that this is, there's something that comes before it that's not mentioned, doesn't have to be mentioned, but it's understood. It's understood. So id means when, but for the past. Id here means when, but for when? Past. Something that happened in the past. So it's like, you know, let's say something, yo, remember when? For the past. Not when are you going? It's not when are you going to do this. It's remember when. You see the difference? Remember when such and such happened? I'm not telling you, yo, when are you going to go do such and such? That's when for the idha. That comes as idha, ja. Right? When, idha, ja, and Nasrullah, what? So that's idha for the future. That's for the what? Future. Idha. But id is for the past. Id qalat, what does qalat mean?
Say.
Who? No.
Has said.
No. What is qalat? What's qalat?
What was said?
No.
What she said.
No, you're right, but I want them to say in English. What's qalat? What is qalat?
Say.
No. Qala does not mean say.
Recite.
No.
Oh, please.
Qala means said.
Ah.
Said. He said. Right? Qala means he said. Qalat means she said. The tag here makes it for the lady. She said. Remember when who? The what? Imra'atu Imran. Imra'a. Whenever you see Imra'a and then a name of a man after, it doesn't mean just the woman, it means the wife of. Right? Imra'a normally is a woman, al-mar'a. But if you say Imra'ata shay or Imra'ata ha, that means the wife of that man. It's making the mudaf ila hada. It's mudaf to Imran. That woman belongs to him. That woman who? Belongs to Imran. That woman who belongs to Imran is the wife of Imran. So, إذ قالت امرأة عمران ربي. So, remember when the wife of Imran said. Does that make sense? What's the wife of Imran's name? Hanna bint Faqud. The wife of Imran, her name was Hanna bint Faqud. So remember when Hanna bint Faqud, the wife of Ibrahim, that's a good way to come late. Smart man, mashallah. You come late, you bring donuts.
One for the sisters, one for the brothers.
So it's called a Timra'atu Imran. What do you say again? It's called, what does that mean? Remember when the wife of Imran said. Are we clear? Are we struggling? Open the Muslim house. Open it. No? It's okay, it's not going to bite. It's called a Timra'atu. What am I saying? Somebody tell me. It's called a Timra'atu Imran. Remember when the wife of Imran said. It's not Rabbi, oh my Lord. Rabbi, oh my Lord. Somebody tell me what does Rabb mean? Huh? No. As-Sayyid, Al-Malik, Al-Mudabbir, huh? Al-Mudir, Al-Mun'im. MashaAllah. You see how all this tied back in together? The Rabb is the Sayyid. He is the one that everyone returns back to for their affairs. He is Al-Malik, the owner. He is Al-Mudabbir, the one who manages all of the affairs. He is Al-Mun'im, the one who gives the blessings. Did I miss something? Al-Sayyid, Al-Murabbi. And he's the one who nurtures and causes the things to grow how they should grow. Right? In their proper way. Al-Murabbi. So, remember she said, oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Who has gum? Someone? Go speak it out. Inni nadartu. Inni means I. Inni is the same thing as inna. But this is I. Oh my Lord. Inni. Like for sure. Inni nadartu lak. Now, nadartu means I took a vow. I'm giving a vow. I am vowing. Or I gave a vow. I gave a vow. I vowed. What does this word vowed mean in the Sharia? To vow something, another is iltazamu shay. Another is to stick to something, right? That you make it binding on something that you're going to do this, right? So in the Sharia, so you say, listen, it's a must that I do this. That's another. You make it a must that that thing becomes done. Now, in the Sharia, what does it mean by another? It means to make it a binding thing for you to do something that is not normally obligatory in the Sharia. Does that make sense? I'll give you an example. If I say, I vow to stay in the masjid for 30 days. That's another. It becomes wajib for me to fulfill that vow. I have to do it now. Why? Because I made another to Allah. I made it binding on me to Allah that I'm going to do this. Does that make sense? But normally, is it binding for me to stay in the masjid for 30 days? No. So I made it obligatory on myself. Does that make sense? That's another. So, in this situation, Hanna bint Faqud, who is who? She made another. She made it binding on herself to Allah to do something. What did she make it binding to do? Inni nadartu laka ma fi batni. I vow to give you ma fi batni, that which is in ma here. Laka means what? I forgot. What does laka mean? To you or for you. For you or to you. Laka means, so if I say hada, look. I say hada laka, and I give it to somebody. What does that mean? This is for you. Laka means for you or to you, right? So I say inni nadartu laka ma. This ma does not mean, this ma here, ma mawsula, so it's like that which. It's connecting ma. Inni nadartu laka ma, that which. Fi, what's fi mean? In. Fi is what? In. Batuni. What is batuni? My stomach, my womb, right? My stomach. In her case, womb. Really means the inside, my inside. Right? That's what it means. Fi batuni, inside of me. I'm vowing to give you what's inside of me. Muharrara. Muharraran means free from. It comes from the root hurriya. Muharraran, meaning what? It's free from any of the things that will busy somebody for the dunya. Muharraran means that it's free from or is dedicated specifically for what it's going to be doing for the stuff in the akhirah. But it's free from being busy with things of the dunya. Right? Now mind you, like let's say you have a child. Your child is going to have to clean. They might have to cook. They might have to go to school. Right? But she's saying about her child that I'm going to make it muharrara. I'm going to make it free from anything else except to worship you and to serve you. But serve what is the question? We're going to go back to that. Muharraran fataqabbal. Fataqabbal means so accept it. Fataqabbal in Arabic, whenever you have an emr, there's a thing where you say fataqabbal. If it's going to somebody less, if I say here, hamdi fataqabbal hada, that's a command. Take this, right? Accept it. But when you say to someone above you, if I give it to my mother and I say fataqabbali hada, I'm asking her. The same word, but the meaning changes depending on if the person is above you or So with Allah, whenever you say something like this that looks like an emr, it's always called du'a. You're asking Allah, fataqabbal. Oh Allah, accept it. It's not accept it. It's accept it. You see the difference? Fataqabbal means what? Accept it. Accept what? The what? Accept my another. Accept my vow. Thank you, Abdurrahman. Minni, from me. Innaka, what does innaka mean?
Surely.
No, this calf, remember this calf? What does laka mean?
For.
No, this calf means you. So here, innaka means indeed you are. Innaka, indeed you are. Anta, so this anta, look, Allah now is making tawqeed. Innaka anta, indeed you. So just repeat it. We don't translate it as such. We're not going to say indeed you. No, this is tawqeed, making emphasis that if I say, كيف حالكم أنتم? Now I'm making it like you is making tawqeed and ta'zeem, that I'm talking to you, but I'm also making your أنا أعظم نفسي قدرك, that you're grand in my eyes. Innaka anta. It makes difference. In Arabic, it's beautiful. In English, we won't say you. It sounds like, what's wrong with this guy? But in Arabic, innaka anta sami'ul alim. Indeed, you are. Right? Making it extra for Allah. Indeed, you are. What do we say we have here? Sami'un. Sami'un alim. The hearing all-knower. What is he hearing all-knower of this time?
That which is in her womb.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, he knows to accept her, to not accept her.
Oh, I'm making a mistake here. Innaka anta as-sami al-alim. So that's innaka anta as-sami'ul alim. So, Allah, you hear me pleading with you. You hear me saying this to you, pleading with you, and you are all knowing of my sincerity about this. You hear it, as-sami', and also anta al-alim, that you are aware and know how sincere I am in what I'm asking for. Right? So now let's look at this. Let's go back to it. There's a lot on the board. It's called to Imraan. So Allah says to the Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, remember when the wife of Imraan, what's her name? Bint? What was the wife of Zakariya's name? MashaAllah, you guys are very smart people. Imraan means what? The wife of Imraan. She said, oh my Lord. When did she say this and why? They say that the Mufassirin, they say that the wife of Imraan, she was an old lady. And she didn't have any children. She was an old lady and she didn't have any children yet. So one time she was sitting under a tree relaxing. Old people, they're relaxing under a tree. And she said that she saw a bird come. And when the bird came, the bird started feeding one of his chicklets, It's feeding his little chicklet stuff and things of this nature. So when she saw this, she became really compassionate and felt sad about it, and she wanted a child of her own. She wanted a child of her own. So she made this dua. She asked Allah to give her a child. But when she asked Allah to give her a child, when she first made the dua, she said, oh Allah, if you do give me a child, then oh Allah, I'll make this child a servant of Bayt al-Maqdis. I will vow, and that was one of the things that was one of the noblest actions someone could do during that time, that they dedicate their child for the service of Bayt al-Maqdis, meaning that they will, serve the people, the rabbis that were there. They would take care of the students there. They would learn, and they wouldn't do nothing else except for serve the masjid. That would be their life goal. So that's a big deal during that time. It was an honor for your parent to sacrifice you like that, because a parent loves their child and they want to raise their child. But when a parent does this and sacrifice their child, that's nobility, right? Wow, look at that. That lady, she gave her child up. And she didn't, one thing they talk about the story of Maryam, the story of Hannah bin Faqud, the Sheikh, he mentioned that she didn't even talk to her husband about this. She just decided, I'm going to give my child up for the sake of Allah. So, they say, the Sheikh, he mentions that when she finally became pregnant, she renewed this vow again. And that's when this comes here. And she says, Rabbi. So the first time there was no baby in her stomach. She said, oh Allah, if you do this, I'll give him up for the sake of Allah. So when she became pregnant, she renewed this nadr of hers. She renewed the what? Nadr. And then she said, Rabbi inni nadartu. Oh Allah, I did that. I vowed. Nadartu laka. I vowed. Nadartu laka ma fi batni muharrara. I vowed to make it what? Free of the distractions of the dunya. I will not let it be distracted by the dunya. I will only give it up so it can serve you and serve Bayt al-Maqdis. Muharraran, fataqabbal minni. So accept that. accept my offering from me. إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. You are the one who hears everything and the all-knower of everything. We clear on that? So some of the Mufassirin, they said that when her husband found out that she vowed to give away the child, he was mad. Like, yo, you know, that's my child. You know, the first child we ever had too, and you vowed to give it away. Her husband was who? Imraan. But he didn't like that. It's his child still. And, so one sheikh, he mentioned that he divorced her when he found out about it. When he found out, he blamed her about it. He divorced her. Like, yo, you're not going to just take my child and do that with it. And he divorced her. And then he died. He died before he was able to see what happened with the child. So that's that part. Okay? Are we good with this? Okay. Somebody translate. If call it, somebody translate that for me. Go ahead, Hamdi. You seem energetic. I can't hear you. Remember when? Remember. Huh? That which is in my stomach, my insides. Good, thank you. Then we go on to the next part. Allah then said, فَلَمَّا وَضَعَتْ Okay, we're going to go there like that. So now pay attention, very beautiful ayah here. So Allah says then, فَلَمَّا, so when, فَلَمَّا means so when it happened. So when, فَلَمَّا means what? So when, وَضَعَتْهَا, she gave, وَضَعَتْ means she gave birth, but وَضَعَتْهَا means to the girl. Now this is the surprise, because she was hoping that she was having a boy, so she can give the boy to serve Bayt al-Maqdis, because girls were not allowed in Bayt al-Maqdis like this. They weren't allowed. They weren't allowed in the masjid to do like, you know, mashallah, we have the girls come to the masjid instead. It wasn't like the Jews. The Jews are some of the most strict when it comes to their treatment of the women. And they talk about the Muslims, but the Jews, without a doubt, are some of the most strict when it comes to the treatment of the women. And Allah came and made these things easy on the women with Islam. So much so that the Jews, if their wife is like on her hay time, they won't even eat with her. If she eats from a spoon, they feel like it got to be contaminated. Whoa, she ate from that spoon. Right? That's how they treat their women. Us, alhamdulillah, we're not like that. So be happy to be Muslim. Be happy to be Muslim and not a Jew. Because, you know, so anyway. فَلَمَّا وَضَعَتْهَا, so when she gave birth, وَضَعَتْهَا, when she gave birth, right? When she gave birth, قالت, what does قالت mean?
She said.
MashaAllah, she said. She said. What does وَضَعَتْ mean? She gave birth to what? The girl. The baby girl. The ha here means the baby girl. MashaAllah. She gave birth to what? The baby girl. not the baby boy as she thought. فَلَمَّا وَضَعَتْهَا قَالَتْ رَبِّي. What is Rabbi? Oh my Lord. Inni. What is inni? I for I, right? Inni. I وَضَعَتْهَا. وَضَعَتْهَا means what? I gave birth to a girl. وَضَعَتْهَا. I gave birth to her as a girl. Unta as a girl. This dhamma here in the ta, to, وَضَعْتُهَا means I gave birth. وَضَعَتْ. I gave birth to a girl. Wallahu, the Allah says, what does Wallahu mean? And Allah, a'lamu. What is a'lamu? What is a'lamu? A'lamu is Allah is the most known. Whenever we say Allahu a'lam, you ever say Allahu a'lam? Allah knows best. So Allah is the best knower. He's the best knower, or He knows best, right? Allah knows best. Bima wada'at, by which she gave birth to. He's the best knower of what she gave birth to. Allah is what? A'lamu. The best knower of what she gave birth to. Wada'at. Bima wada'at. He's the best knower of what she gave birth to. We clear? What did she give birth to? Because she came. Now, mind you how she's feeling. Because she gave a vow. She made another that she was going to give whatever was in her belly to Beit al-Maqdis, to serve it. Mind you, they have no CAT scans, or what's those things called when they see what the woman is giving birth to today? Ultrasounds. So she doesn't know, but she's hoping it's a boy. Plus, remind you that her husband, Imraan, he used to say what? The Messiah is going to come from my loins. It's going to come. The Messiah is going to come from my children. The Messiah has to be a man. So she's thinking it's going to be a boy, especially after her husband was a prophet and he was saying this and that. She's not going to have a boy. So when she wada'at, what does wada'at mean? When she gave birth to the untha, what's the untha? Mashallah. When she gave birth to the untha, she became sort of sad, like she didn't know what was happening. So then she said, Rabbi inni wada'tuha untha. Oh my Lord, I gave birth to a girl. Not like she didn't know that Allah didn't know, but she's saying it, oh Allah, but I wanted her to serve you. I wanted this baby to serve you, but it's a girl. Wallahu a'lamu bima wada'at. But Allah knows best what she gave birth to. Now Allah says, وَلَيْسَ الذَّكَرُ كَالْأُنْثَى. This is too important today. وَلَيْسَ الذَّكَرُ means the boy is not, or the male is not. This ka means like. This ka here means like. The boy is not like the girl. Remember that. Boy's not like a girl. Stop acting like girls. Stop acting like boys. If you're a boy, act like a boy. If girl, act like a girl. Very simple. Well, they said dakaru kalunta. That's a rule. The man is not like the woman is not like the man. Now, what does this have to do here? Some people, they look at this ayat the wrong way. Because it's not the way that some people look at it. The ulama, the mufassirin, they say that Allah here says, وَلَيْسَ الذَّكَرُ كَالْأُنْثَى, because she was hoping to give birth to a boy. So when she gave birth to the girl, she was trying to figure out what's the deal. So Allah is reminding her here that وَلَيْسَ الذَّكَرُ كَالْأُنْثَى, the woman can't serve Beit al-Maqdis. But now, does that mean that the woman has no fadl? Is that what Allah says? That the woman has nothing, there's nothing good about this woman, she can't serve Beit al-Maqdis? Is that what this ayah means?
No.
You say no? She can't serve Beit al-Maqdis.
But
what Allah is showing her here, and pay attention to this, is that the woman has a bigger role than just serving Beit al-Maqdis. Her job that Allah has intended for this girl is not like the job of the man. Her role is going to be bigger and greater than that. Well, they said that can own that. If it was a boy, all he could have did was serve the people of Beit al-Maqdis. He would have served the teachers, studied there, run around, clean up, stuff like that. But Allah didn't intend that for this baby. So he says, وَلَيْسَ الذَّكَرُ كَالْأُنْثَى, that the daughter, the girl, is not like the boy. Showing that this daughter is going to have way more of an importance in society and in the community than what a boy would have had. She's going to be the mother of the Messiah. And not just that, Maryam wasn't just that. She was a scholar from amongst the women. She was the one that the women would come to and ask their questions. And she would serve them and help them with their needs, which is going to come later on. That Maryam, she used to go and give fatwa to the women. Every day she would go to the doors of Beit al-Maqdis, and the women would ask her their question. Why is that important? Because prior to that, the women were barred from Beit al-Maqdis. They had no role. So now Maryam, going too far. Going too far. We're not even there yet. Let me back up. But remember that the laysa dhakru kal untha. When we say a woman is not like a man, it doesn't mean that a woman is cheap, she's nothing. It means that her role is just as important or more important than a man, but she has to play her role. Don't try to do what the boy is doing. His role is different. We want to send him outside to go jump off a building. That's his role. Your role is different. And the boy's role is different than the girl. Everyone has to play their role, whatever Allah has created them for. And that's how everything will work better. Are we good with this part here? وَلَيْسَ الذَّكَرُ كَالْأُنثَى? Are we good? Okay. Then Allah says, وَإِنِّي سَمَّيْتُهَا مَرْيَمَ وَإِنِّي سميتها مريم وإني أعيدها وإني part of my handwriting. Let me make this look a little better. Okay. We gotta get it how we get it. Well, inni samaytuha, and Allah says then that Maryam says, not Maryam, Hanna bint Faqud. She says, wa inni, what's wa inni? And I, right? Wa inni is what? And I, samaytuha. I have named her. Samaytuha. And why do you realize that Maryam named her own child? Normally in the Sharia, the man names the child, but the husband died. The husband was gone, passed away. So Maryam named her. Inni samaytuha. I named her. The ha means her. Inni samaytuha Maryam. What does Maryam mean? Does anyone know? Anybody know what the name Maryam, not Maryam, but Maryam mean? What's Maryam mean? Nobody know? It means servant of Allah in their language. In their language, amongst the Jews, it meant servant of Allah. That she was there to be a servant of Allah. She named her the servant of Allah. وَإِنِّي سَمَيْتُهَا مَرْيَمَا وَإِنِّي. What's وَإِنِّي? And I, mashallah. Inni is what? And I. U'iduha. U'iduha. Does this word sound familiar to anyone? U'iduha. What do you say when you're scared of the shaitan? A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, right? So u'iduha means I I'm asking you, Allah, like I'm giving her to you for your protection. U'iduha. I'm asking you for you to protect her. I'm not seeking refuge for myself, but I'm asking you to protect her. I'm asking you to be her guardian and to protect her and to keep her safe. وَذُرِّيَّتَهَا. And her was dhurriyyah. What's dhurriyyah? We talked about a dhurriyyah to ba'duha min ba'd. What's dhurriyyah? Huh? Her children? Her children, her child, whatever she has. Children, dhurriyyah means her progeny. Whatever comes from her. وَذُرِّيَّتَهَا min ash-shaytan. Shaytan, we know who he is, right? Ash-shaytan al-rajim. Al-rajim, does anybody know what al-rajim means when we say shaytan al-rajim? What is that, al-rajim?
Rejected.
That's one of the meanings, but not the most correct lughatan. But it's one of the meanings of it. Matrud,
Cursed.
right? Cursed, that type of thing. But really the rajim is, what's rajam? What's rajam? Anybody know what rajam is? Rajam is shit. Rami ala shit, right? Yami, he's throwing something at it. That's a rajam. So like when you go, like the one who, when the person who gets stoned, they call it stoning. You see it from stoning, but it's called a rajam. In the Sharia, when a person is zani, right, they call it a rajam. He gets stoned, right? So the rajim is the one who is constantly throwing. Because it's like Rahim. Does this word look familiar to you? If I took this away, what would this be? Rahim. What is Rahim? Constantly giving mercy. Not one time or two times, but constantly giving mercy. So Shaytan is ar-rajim. He's constantly throwing evil and stuff into the hearts of mankind. Right? Big difference, right? He's constantly throwing evil and waswas into the hearts of mankind. That's rajim. Now another meaning of rajim is that he is marujum. That's the other meaning. He's marujum, meaning he's cast, or he's throwing stuff at him. That they said that the angels, they throw the shihab at him, right? Boom, boom, throwing stuff, boom, boom, get away from it, shaitan. So because of that, he's cursed. Because they're always throwing the what is the shihab? The you know those things that come from, like, what is it, shooting stars? Huh?
Asteroids.
Yeah, but like the asteroids, the angels are throwing those at shaitan to get away. Don't listen to what's happening. Get away, so he's cursed. Can't come around the good. So he's marujum on one meaning of it, but he's also rajim, meaning he's always throwing evil into the people's hearts. Does that make sense? He's rajim. He's doing what? Always throwing evil at the people. So in this Samaitu, she named him Maryam. What's Maryam mean? Servant of Allah in their language, not Arabic. وَإِنِّي أُعِيذُهَا, and I am asking you to protect her. وَإِنِّي أُعِيذُهَا بِكَ. Oh, Bika, I missed the line here. Bika, right? وَإِنِّي أُعِيذُهَا بِكَ. Bika means what? I'm asking you, Bika, by you protect her. Bika, وَذُرِّيَّتَهَا مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ, from protecting from the shaitan. There comes a hadith that the Prophet says every child that's born, the shaitan comes and pokes at them. Every child that's born, the shaitan comes and pokes at them and bothers them, right? Except for Maryam and her son Isa. Everyone else gets this poke from the shaitan, except for Maryam and her son Isa. And they said that this is due to the dua that was made by Hannah bint Faqub, that Allah protect her son and her dhurriyyah, that Allah has protected them to be one of the only creations that never gets this poke from shaitan. Yes. Bika is you, like I'm using you as a means of protection. U'idhuha bika. I'm asking you to be the means of protecting her. Why? How to protect her? You protect her, oh Allah. Bika is using you. Bika, using you.
So when you hear Rabika or something like that,
no, that's different. No, it's different because Rabb, the bad there is the end of the word Rabb.
No.
Ka is the you, but Rabb is the word Rabb. Then the ka there means you. So Rabb, your Lord, your Rabb. That's different. Okay. Are we good with this?
No.
Can I take it off? What does it mean? You guys say yeah. What does it mean, Abdul Ghani? Tell me this. Come up to the board, matter of fact. Come on up. Price is right. Let's go, Abdul Ghani. Come on down. Oh, you gotta look at your notes? Bring your notes with you. Come on and give us some tafseer, please. We're waiting, Abdul Ghani. We don't got much time.
Holding up the class, brother.
Let's go, let's go. I'm gonna stand back here and let you do your thing. Eat a donut, you know? Let's go, come on, we wait.
Get these two on too.
Abdul Ghani, we waiting.
I swear.
Oh, this one looks nice.
Yeah. Young scholar.
And I gave
Use the board, use the board.
birth to
Nope.
Gotta use the board, brother.
heaven.
Hey, you know, there's markers there.
You gotta teach us.
Come on, come on, come on. Even if you're wrong, we'll correct you, it's no problem. What Indi, what does what Indi mean?
And I. I think the writing is over the top for that one.
What does Samaitu have mean? I have named her. Anyone can get called up. You better pay attention. What's Maryam mean?
Servant of Allah.
Servant of Allah. Keep going. U'idhuha. What does u'idhuha mean? No. I'm not saying, but I'm not just seeking refuge. I'm asking you. I'm asking you to give refuge to her. I'm asking you to protect her and her child, not just for me, but I'm asking you to protect my child and her children. So u'idhuha, as I'm asking you to be her protector. What's dhurriya? Right there, dhurriyata. Her pride and her children, right? Her descendants. Men, you see men? What is men? What is men right here? Men. Men means from. That's shaitan. Shaitan is the shaitan, ma'ruf, evil being. What is ar-rajim? The one that's constantly throwing that nonsense. He's constantly bringing that nonsense, right? Bring it to your heart, constantly talking to you about it. Do this. Oh, why you don't do that evilness? He's rajim. He's constantly doing that rajim. Throwing stuff in the hearts of the people. As well, he's marujum. He's the one who thinks, you know, they cast out of the goodness. Tayyib, let's keep going. You did good, mashallah. You guys better keep your notes right because anyone can get called up. Thank you. Who's going to get called next is the question. Tayyib. So Allah Ta'ala, He says after this, He says, so she's making this dua. So Allah says, فَتَقَبَّلَهَا. ربها. فتقبلها ربها بقبول حسن Okay, we're back at it. So Allah says, فَتَقَبَّلَهَا. So Allah says, فَتَقَبَّلَهَا رَبُّهَا. فَتَقَبَّلَهَا means what? Huh? So he accepted her. فَتَقَبَّلَهَا. The her, so who did he accept? Maryam. And he accepted the mother's dua. He accepted Maryam. رَبُّهَا, her Lord accepted her. بِقَبُولٍ حَسَنٍ. What a beautiful acceptance. بِقَبُول, kabul means acceptance. We know what Rabbuha means, right? No, what does Rabbuha mean? Her Lord, mashallah. وَأَنْبَتَهَا means caused her to grow. He caused her to grow up. أَنْبَتَهَا means رَبَّاهَا. That he caused her to grow like a plant, right? You know what a plant, when you plant the seeds in the ground, you take care of it, right? You got to take the weeds away from it. He didn't just cause her to grow, but he protected her from the weeds like you protect the plant. That's why he uses this beautiful word, وَأَنْبَتَهَا نَبَاتًا حَسَنًا. He caused her to grow نَبَاتًا حَسَنًا, and a beautiful growth, like a beautiful plant, right? Right? So ambataha, that her Lord, he's the murabbi of her, that he calls her to grow up, just like a gardener goes and takes their flowers and they take away the weeds and they give it water and sometimes fertilizer. Allah took her away from everything that will harm her. So he ambataha, raised her up in a beautiful way. وَكَفَّلَهَا زَكَرِيَّا. وَكَفَّلَهَا زَكَرِيَّا. This is what I mean. And he gave Zechariah guardianship of her. He gave Zechariah. Who's Zechariah to her? Her uncle through marriage. Her mother's sister's husband. So he was the closest one to them. So now what's the story behind this? فَتَقَبَّلَهَا رَبُّهَا. Her Lord accepted it from her, right? He accepted her. فَتَقَبَّلَهَا رَبُّهَا as another. He accepted her as another. فَتَقَبَّلَهَا رَبُّهَا بِقَبُولٍ حَسَنٍ. He accepted her in a beautiful acceptance. وَأَنْبَتَهَا, and raised her up in a beautiful way. وَكَفَّلَهَا Zechariah. And he gave Zechariah guardianship of her. How did that happen? They say when Maryam's mother had her, what's her name? Hannah bint Faqud. When Hannah bint Faqud had her, they said she wrapped her up in some rags. She kept her vow. She didn't even, they said Maryam never got breastfed, not even once. Her mother did not even feed her, not once. She kept her vow. She said that this is muhararan lak, and she kept to that. That this baby is going to be for you, Allah. And she never looked back from that. And that's why after this, you never hear about Maryam's mother ever again. Never hear about her, right? We don't know what happened to her mother. But what we know is that she wrapped up her baby, and as soon as she had her, never even breastfed her. Wrapped up the baby and brought her to the doorsteps of Beit al-Maqdis. So she brought her to the people and said, listen, I gave this as another to Allah. Now mind you, they don't know what to do because they've never had a girl brought as another. Only boys. So they're not arguing. Who's going to be her guardian? So now the rabbis, they say, oh, we want to be their guardians. Why? Because she's the daughter of their imam and their most righteous person, Imraan. He was their imam before. So then, no, we'll take care of her. No, they're disputing over it. And Zechariah, he comes and says, no, I'm going to take care of her. They're like, why, Zechariah? Because she's the daughter of my wife. I mean, she's the niece of my wife. So it makes sense that I take care of her. So they said, no, don't say that, because her mother gave up the rights to her. So what you're talking about doesn't matter. Her mother gave her up as a vow, so all that relationship stuff that she's your nieces, she's your niece and stuff, none of that matters, because we're not talking about that. The mother gave her up for the Beit al-Maqdis. So they said, okay, all right, this is what we're going to do. They said we're going to take our pins and cast them in the ocean. And whoever's pin floats up to the top is going to be the one who gets to be the kafir of Maryam. So they threw it in the ocean once. Everyone, they said it was like 29 rabbis and Zechariah. So they threw it into the ocean, and these were the pins that they used to write the Torah with. These are the pins that they used to write the Torah with. So they threw them in the ocean, and Zechariah's pin came up. So they said, no, we got to try it again. Do over. Let's try it again, right? So they did it again. Zechariah's pin came up again. They said, no, let's try it again. Give me a do-over. You know, like a shot, shoot. You know, shot, shoot. He said, no, you cheated me, right? So they said, do it again. And they did it a third time, and Zechariah's pin came up a third time. So they said, okay, Zechariah, you get it. So وَكَفَّلَهَا Zechariah. Zechariah became her guardian. What does kafalaha mean? Guardian. He was given guardianship of her. Are we good with this part?
Top.
The top part we're good with? So, this part we're good with?
Yeah.
So then, وكفلها زكريا كلما دخل عليها زكريا المحراب. Okay. كلما دخل عليها زكريا المحراب. So now we come to another part of the story. So Maryam, as I said earlier, Maryam was growing up a little bit, and she used to be the mufti of the women of Beit al-Maqdis. The women will come and ask her their questions. Yeah, so just because she was studying, she was learning in Beit al-Maqdis. She grew up there and was learning. Now Zechariah did something different with her, because she had to be separate from the women, from the men. So they said that he built in the masjid, actual masjid area, he built a mihrab, for a home, for a ghurfa for her, a room. And he made this room such that you couldn't just walk in this room, you had to go upstairs to get into it. So now anyone who tried to go into her room, you would say, hey, what are you doing? Don't get away from Maryam's door. She's protected from the men, so they can't sneak up in there and hashalillah, right? So she's protected. Everyone knows that's Maryam's door. Nobody can go there except for Zechariah. He's the only one. And they said that he would put like 7 locks on her door. Lock. Come in. He's the only one. So when she would come, he would come, and convince whatever, and lock her door back up, and so on and so forth. But she's studying in Beit al-Maqdis. So Zechariah, كلما دخل عليها زكريا المحراب. Every time, كلما means every time. كلما means what?
Every time.
Every time. Dakhala means he entered. If I say like this, somebody, dakhala al-ghurb. He entered to the room. Dakhala. Dakhala means he entered. Alayha. Alayha means he entered upon her. On top. He entered her room. That's what it means, right? He entered upon her. Zechariah, her mihrab, her prayer place. He entered her prayer place, right? كلما دخل عليها زكريا المحراب. We'll stop there for right now until we get to the bottom part. Mihrab is her prayer place. The mihrab is the place that the imam takes for his prayer. So her mihrab, a person has a mihrab, is their special place that they take for prayer. So her mihrab is her room and where she takes her prayer at. Okay? So back to it again. Maryam grew up, and she became like a celebrity. She was famous. Everybody knew she was the only girl allowed to be in Beit al-Maqdis. So she's a celebrity. the women would come ask her questions, and then sometimes the women would come and ask her, tell her needs. So one lady came and told Maryam that, you know, I don't have no food, I'm hungry. So Maryam had a stipend. You know, like when you go to college, they give you the card, on-campus card or whatever. Like, I don't want to get an OCC, but like they put money on it so you can buy food, right? So Maryam had a stipend. Every day they would give her a certain amount of bread or whatever for lunch and dinner. So Maryam started to give her food as sadaqah to the woman. Every day she would give that food away. Here, lady, you know, here, take it. Here, feed your family. So she became hungry. And she began to pass out. So now the priests and the rabbis, they were like, you know what happened? Why is Maryam passing out? She's in class, she passed out. She's weak, she's not eating. So they said, well, when they found out that she was feeding other people, so what's her fault? She's giving away her food. So, you know, that's how it went. So then now, Zechariah used to go and check on her. And whenever he would come check on her, can I erase this part? كلما دخل عليها زكريا المحراب وجد عندها رزقا وجد عندها رزقا. He found with her food. كلما دخل عليها زكريا المحراب وجد عندها رزقا. He will find, وجد means he would find, عندها with her, provisions. Rizqa's provisions. Food. Every time he would enter upon her, he would find food there, provisions. And they say what made it so beautiful and weird was that not only did he find food with her, but he would find the food that's normally found in the wintertime, he would find that with her in the summer. And the food that's normally grown in the summertime, he would find that with her in the winter. And then not only would he find food of different seasons with her, when he would see it, this food doesn't look like the food that we have. If she had oranges, these oranges don't look like regular oranges. It's the food of Jannah. They said that Jibreel would come and bring her food from Jannah. So Zechariah was amazed. كلما دخل عليها زكريا المحراب وجد عندها رزقا. Now, we back up a little bit. So now, this was happening a lot. Every time that he would come, he would find this with her. Now, one time that he came, he ended up asking her. Why? They say that Zechariah, one time the rabbis beat Maryam with her, they beat her with their pins, but they beat her bad. Beat her, she has bruises all over her and stuff like this. So she ran back to her room. And one of the people who became a student of Zechariah, he left. And he said, listen, I can't be a rabbi if they're going to beat this girl like that, right? So he came and told Zechariah what happened. So Zechariah is angry. So he runs to Maryam's room and he says, Maryam, he wants to go see what happened. So when he comes to see what happened, Maryam is trying to hide her bruises and stuff. She doesn't want to tell him. She doesn't want to make a big deal about it. So that's the time what's that risk off. Then I don't remember why right now. I don't know. So I don't know why. So can I erase this part?
Is that like a hot D, or is that like one that just?
What?
So is that in the hot D about them beating her with a pen, or is that a story from the?
Most of this is stories from Israeliyat. Most of when you come to these stories about like this, they're going to be stories of the Israeliyat. Meaning that the Prophet ﷺ himself might not have told us authentic narrations, but he told us that you can narrate from the Bila Haraj. He said narrate from Bani Israel Bila Haraj. There's no problem. But then when you do it, especially if you don't believe it completely, it's just filler information for the filler. So sometimes one Israel would say this and another would say this, and you take the story. You just make the story complete that way. But it's not that, set in stone it happened this way. It just fills the story. قال يا مريم أنى لك هذا. Okay, listen, we're almost done, don't worry. So you guys get restless maybe. So he said, when he came in, he saw, and mind you, he came in, this time he came in, he knows he's seen his food before, nobody doesn't say anything about it. But now he's angry, and he runs in there, Maryam's trying to hide it, and he doesn't, subhanAllah, he's coming in, and he's angry now. So now, when you're angry, sometimes you can't control and not worry. So he said, and where are you getting this food from? Anna means like where, how? Where is it coming from? Anna, here. How is this coming to you? Anna, how, where? Where, lucky, how? Where are you getting lucky? It's like leka. Lucky is for a girl though. Lucky. The kesra here is for a girl. Where are you getting this? How that? What's how that mean? This. From where? Anna lucky hada. How are you getting this? How is this stuff coming for you? Anna lucky hada. So the Maryam says, what is qalat? Qalat, huwa. What's huwa? He or it. Here it's it. Qalat, it is min. What's min? From. Indi. And what's indi? With. It's from with that which Allah possesses. Inna Allah. It's from that which Allah possesses. Inna Allah. What's inna Allah? What's inna Allah? What's inna Allah? Inna Allah. Indeed Allah. For sure Allah. Certainly Allah. Inna Allah. Yarzuqu. What is yarzuqu? What's rizq? Allah can provide. Inna Allah yarzuqu may yasha, for whoever he wants without any limit. Bighayri hisab. Bighayri means without. Without, and hisab here is counting, limit, etc. Right? Oh, may yasha is whoever he wants or wills. Wants or wills, right? Inna Allah yarzuqu man yasha bighayri hisab. Allah provides for whoever he wills without any counting or any limit. Allah provides for whoever he wills without any limits, okay? Now it's important that we go right to the next part. Because it says, هُنَالِكَ دَعَا. Can we go to the next part? So we understand this part? No, yes? We good? Yeah? Because they're tired, man. Then Allah says immediately, هُنَالِكَ دَعَا زَكَرِيَّا رَبَّهُ. So hunalika means, normally hunalika means something far away. Ishara, it's when ishara lil ba'id, right? Hunalik is something, it's over there, hunalik. But here is used for something that's immediately. Allah said, hunalika da'a Zakariya rabbah. Hunalik, like right then and there, da'a means he made dua. He supplicated, he asked Allah dua. Da'a means he made dua. Zakariya is the one who made the dua, Rabbah, to his Lord. Now, some of the Mufassirin, they say that when Zakariya saw this, when he saw that this stuff that Maryam had, yes. Hunalika means like right then and there. In this situation, it means like right there. Okay, pay attention. هُنَالِكَ دَعَا زَكَرِيَّا رَبَّهُ قَالَ. So now what happened is this right there. Zechariah was there and he saw what Maryam had. Imagine you come somewhere and you come to somebody's house and every time you come in, they got $1 million on the floor. And you come back, they got another $1 million. Man, guys, come back another $1 million. Oh, something is weird. But even better than that, they have $1 million, and let's say you're in Africa, right? Every time they come, they have $1 million, $1 million American dollars. That's even different. Now they don't have shillings, right? They don't have, what is it, Junaid? They have $1 million bills. So that becomes even more. You're like, whoa, man, where does this guy get $1 million bills? Nobody even has that right now in Africa, right? You in China, whatever. So every time you come, you see that. So, and then now you becoming amazed every time you see it, but you don't say nothing. Then finally you ask him. He said, man, yo, where you getting all this money from? The person says, like it's nothing. You know, they're not amazed by it at all. They're like, oh, this is from Allah. And Allah yarzuqu man yasha'u bighayri hisab. You didn't know? Right? That's like everything like, yo, in Allah, for sure Allah gives to whoever He wants without any hisab. So you're like, whoa. So then Hunali, so Zechariah now he's like, wow. Now he's wowing for two reasons. He's reminded of what he should have known, what he knows already. By Maryam, and she's a child. And they say from the mouth of babes, right? From a child's mouth, sometimes you hear the most truest things. So she told him, "Inna Allah yarzuqu man yasha'u bighayri hisab." So then he was amazed for two reasons. One, he saw what she said, and two, every time you see it like a person as an adult, you see a smart child or a righteous child. You want one like, he said, man, may Allah grant me a righteous child like that. Or may Allah grant me a smart child like that. That's something that's natural in the hearts of people, right? They want a smart or righteous child. So now he sees this smart, righteous girl named Maryam, and he asked Allah, you know, I want one like that. So he said, now he said he's leaving. Some of us said that he left. He left Maryam's room, but immediately while he's leaving, he's talking to himself. He's left her room because he doesn't want her to see. It's not from his muru'ah that he lets her know his problems, right? So instead of staying right there and saying, oh Allah, give me right in front of Maryam, he left immediately. He starts going to his mihrab. He leaves, and while he's leaving, he's talking to himself and saying, you know, wow. He finished talking to Maryam, now he leaves, and he's saying, Ta'arabbahu, Hunalika Ta'arabbahu Zechariah. So then he goes to his mihrab, and he asks Allah, and he says, Qala Rabbi Habli. Oh my Lord, Qala, who's Qala? Zechariah said, Rabbi, what's Rabbi?
Oh my Lord.
Habli, give me a gift. Habli means give me a gift. Give me a gift, right? Min ladunka, from you. That, you know, make it a gift that, like, I don't need anything, nothing, you know, from the dunya. I want this to come from you, oh Allah. Min ladunka dhurriyatan tayyiba. Dhurriyatan tayyiba. Give me a righteous, tayyiba, good, wholesome, healthy child. Male or female. Dhurriya can be male or female. But give me a healthy, tayyiba means healthy, good. Healthy, good, righteous. All that's in tayyiba. Dhurriyatan tayyiba. That's what I want, not just a child. And that's what people should make this dua when they want to. He said, Rabbi habli min ladunka rahma. Or min ladunka dhurriyatan tayyiba. Give me a good child, not just any child. But a dhurriyatan tayyiba. Innaka Sami'ud du'a. Indeed, you hear the dua. Indeed, now Sami', when you hear about this word Sami', when it talks about dua and stuff like that, it doesn't just mean you hear the dua. It doesn't mean hear. Sami' means you respond to the dua. What do you say when you rise up from the ruku'? Sami' Allahu liman hamida. Allah hears everything. So what about the one who praises Him? What does He do? Not just hears them, He responds to them. Allah responds to the one who praises Him. That's what Sami Allahu liman hamida means. It doesn't mean hears only. It means that Allah responds to the one who praises Him. Similarly here, innaka sami'ud du'a, that indeed you're the one who responds to the dua. You hear and you respond to it. That makes sense? Innaka sami'ud du'a. Are we clear? Can we go forward? I don't think we have enough time. So, we're going to stop there. And then we'll فنادته الملائكة وهو قائم يصلي في المحراب أن الله يبشرك بيحيى مصدقا بك. But we'll stop there. Yes.
Allah answer this dua with Yahya. No?
Yes. Yes. So next week, inshallah, will be the conclusion of that section, and we start with the next section, inshallah. Right? Any questions? Questions? Concerns? Comments? Sorry, I'm going to ask no question. I'm going to do the last ayah so that we don't lose that connection. You thought it was over? Y'all was happy for a second? Yeah? That's happy to be done with the Quran? SubhanAllah. Started putting your books up. Nobody was complaining. Like, no, just finish, please. Nobody want to finish? SubhanAllah.
I like how next week sounded.
You like how next week sounded? Y'all asked me for the board. That was y'all request. I gave you the board, now you guys tired. Oh, no, that's it.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله